Assalamu alaikum. This is Maruf for our next episode, the Dinpreneurs. I have a special guest, good friend, Nasseer. Assalamu alaikum, Nasseer. Welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you, Maruf, for inviting us to this podcast, and we look forward to our chat.
Absolutely. Before we get started, why don't we start with a quick introduction, who you are and what you do, and out of respect, I will give it to you, and then I will dive deep into way back, almost from the start, and we'll come back to this day. Tell us
Okay.
about yourself, the intro.
So my name is Nasseer Deeb. Uh, my age is undisclosed at this stage.
Undisclosed.
I'm a father of four with a beautiful wife, a lovely wife, and I've been in Canada since 2012 officially, and went back to my what I do best, which is organizing expos and conferences, which I've been doing for the last 30 plus years. And Canada has been my home since then, and I embrace everything. And I just want to give back to this country, this beautiful country that gave us the opportunities to live here and be home for my children. And I want to give back in what I know best, which is launching new niche events that helps the communities and helps also the business and also helps the country in general to make sure we attract the right investment and right attraction.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing it, Nasser. What? So why don't we go back? Usually in the podcast, right, we are interested in people's and their life stories, because sometimes people see you today and say, "Oh, Brother Nasser is doing amazing. He's this couple of shows. He's running all this." In a way that the whole purpose of the podcast is to inspire the younger generations and say, okay, this is what you see Nasser today, but the idea is like it wasn't built on one day. He had this journey, life journey he went through. Today, what he does for a reason. We want to get to know. So to do that, we need to usually go back to younger age and say, and we'll come back slowly. So having said, the question is, Brother Nasser, tell us about your childhood. Where you born? Where you grew up? If you're looking back now about your childhood, what do you think makes you think that to do what you do today? Do you think what was the things that contributed to that? We want to understand the little Nasser and how kind of he lived his days. What was it? How tough
Uh,
was it in the beginning? You know?
well, I was born in Jordan and Amman in 19 blah blah blah,
Yeah. It's
and
okay. We don't need to
and
go through
then
this.
no, I'm not ashamed. I was born 1970 September 25th, and then uh, my father got an opportunity to work in Abu Dhabi. And we have to move I was an infant at that time, maybe like barely 2 months old. I moved to the city of Abu Dhabi where I spent more, I guess, all my childhood until I, moved to the US to do uh, uh, my undergrad schools, university. So where I majored in marketing management, and that's how I started. So I went back to the UAE because I felt like that's really my where I belong. Because
Mhm.
when you're growing up in a place, you don't look at the legal aspect or whether you're expat or not. You just see it as your home because that's where you
It's
grow up.
true.
That's where you had your childhood memories, and it was fun. It was fun to be there back there, and you know uh, catch up with my old friends. And I why I entered this industry, it actually started by coincidence. My father was a business
Before you
man.
jump to the industry, I want to ask a question. You said you weren't born in Jordan. Are you Jordanian?
Yes, I am a Jordanian with a
Hmm.
Palestinian background. So I'm a
Okay,
Palestinian by roots, but Jordanian by nationality. Correct.
I see. I see. So
I'm
it,
also Canadian now.
no, no, I know. But I mean, your origin is like because we want to get the story. It's like you're actually your ancestors. They are from Palestine. They were because of the things what's going on. You were actually.
Unfortunately,
I
yeah.
mean, you are a children of like immigrants, or immigrants, or other refugees, right? It must be tough.
We're
Did
not
you?
we're not refugees. No, we're not. Well, which is nothing wrong with that. We
Mhm.
just we were part of Jordan after the 1948.
Oh,
Uh,
the
we
partition. But there
we
was partition.
became, we became part of Jordan. The
I
West
see. I
Bank became
see. Gotcha.
part of Jordan. So automatically by default we became
I see.
Jordanian.
I see. I
So
see.
it wasn't like we were refugees. No,
I
we
see.
just have to make a little change, a little
I
shift.
got
That's
you.
it.
Got you.
It
Got you.
was already part of Jordan until 1967.
Okay.
There was no border between the West Bank
Interesting.
and Jordan. Yeah.
Interesting. So, one of the questions I guess is that, like, one thing I want to really understand is, like, growing up, you said in Abu Dhabi, um, like those times, like Abu Dhabi, probably different than what it is today, right?
Yeah, it
And
was
much
beautiful.
different.
I love it.
Yeah. So what I mean is that how was it like before you come to these things and study it? You said you're marketing this and that. What was it like growing up? As if you remember, like what was the thing you interested in what you do today? That's what I want to understand, because a lot of young people, they are struggling to find out what they really care about. Like what was it? How was it for you? Was it so your parents said, "Okay, go Nasir, you're gonna study this," or you was something internal for you, like, "Okay, I like this, I want to study." If you it's internal, how did you find out? Does it make sense?
Okay. So I guess it's something to do with the personality. I being an extrovert, and being a person who likes to socialize and make
Mm-hmm.
friends, and that started like that beginning. I also being surrounded by multicultural community. Like we in Abu Dhabi, people know that there were different kind of nationalities living in the same place. You go to school, you go to the club where you hang out. Everybody's from different background, so that kind of like build that momentum, build that feel for being part of something more diverse, more multifacets, I would say, in different ways. So that's where I started to develop my personality, and then the U.S. helped a lot.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the US, you meet also more people, you get to know it. And this is how I mold myself into this kind of business. But also the fact that the coincidence when I was in university, my dad wanted to visit a show or a trade show in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I escorted him and I looked at it and said, what is a trade show? And it was a bit new to me. And I like the idea of having people from different countries and exhibiting and showcasing the products and meeting and talking and having dialogue and networking. uh, that's kind of like that's kind of resonated a little bit in my memory when I went back and I was applying for a job in Abu Dhabi. uh, I saw an ad for looking for a marketing executive for a trade show company, a leading one in Abu Dhabi,
Mm-hmm.
and I just applied and started that from there. 1994. That was my first
Wow.
exhibitions that I did in Abu Dhabi, where I did 3 to 4 shows in Abu Dhabi, and then moved into Dubai, and the story started. Yeah.
I see. I mean, so looking back, what you're saying is that this is a lesson, right, for a lot of people who are listening, because the your father was coming for a trade show. You just didn't know what it is, right? And you're being like, you want to be kind to your father and say, okay, I'm gonna escort my father. You're doing
Yeah.
something good, and by the way, you find out it is actually something interesting for you, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes in life you find things like not by intentionally, by something, do you used to do something and also once it opens ways. That's an interesting story. Interesting. So
Yeah.
then you went back to, as you said, and then you figure out. Interesting. Um, so you said when you went back to Abu Dhabi, it means it's after you finish your studies, right? You finish
Yeah.
your graduates, you went back.
And I went back, and then that was my first job. And then we opened office in Dubai to expand to the market.
Mhm.
And then from Dubai, it took off. I started to live in different places and do different shows in like Saudi Arabia, Oman, Bahrain, Qatar, um, everywhere I started doing in that region at least. And then I started to be part of a very famous IT show called Comdex in Las Vegas, where I helped launch that show in Middle East in Jeddah and in Cairo. Comdex was if anybody in the IT business, at
It's
least
called Comdex, COMDEX.
DEX. Yeah. So
Wow.
Comdex used to be, now it's no longer existing, but it
Mhm.
used to be the largest IT show in the world. It
Wow.
used to be held in Vegas and 18 countries, not only in
Wow.
Vegas. So that show used to only, I think Bill Gates was the only show that he agreed to speak live, like in person, not
Wow.
by
Mm.
satellite. So that show, we launched it in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and we launched it also in Cairo, Egypt. And this is where I started to look at my international way of doing shows, and this is how it began. I kept going and launched my company, the Expo HUT in Dubai in 2006, and then uh, things were doing well. Then we had that crisis in Dubai when I moved to, and I took a job in Oman as CEO, Oman Expo. I launched new shows, new ideas. I revamped the company, and the company grew at 30%. And then Canada did. We had the call from Canada to come, and we moved to Canada. So that's how it all end up. So we end up in Canada for the fact that we want a safe haven to our children and more diverse place to live, and where they can live and call it home, without worrying about being an expat or being this and that. So it was easier to come here and just continue, and it's been great. It's been almost 12 years, and we love it. It's been great country, and we are happy to be part of the development.
I mean, looking back what you said that even in that Abu Dhabi, right? You said you were part of the probably international school, so you were in this international environment. You were kind of getting ready to like what it is today. In Canada, it's already like that, right? As you said, but the difference is, I guess, here that, as you said, you don't feel like you're expat. You feel like Canadian. You're here. You just feel Canadian. You're part of the community. So I also listened to what you said, and I think one of the lessons for listeners and watchers could be, even today you own a few shows, as I know, through Expo HUT. Yeah, I remember you do we will come to that in detail what it is, but you already know, as far as I know, you own at least 3 different shows, and you own them, you run them. Mashallah, I've been part of Halal Expo. We'll discuss it. It's a very professionally run. I will come to that, but I think the lesson is here for a lot of people who are watching and listening is that you did not start them. I mean, you did not start with them right away. Before that, you just told your story. You were part of other shows, right? Where you worked, where you learned the skill, right? After a while, once you learn, you have the things, then you open your own thing. That's another lesson. So a lot of people, what they want to do, but Nasser, is that they want to jump. They want to say, I want to do stuff. Hold on. Do you have the skill? Do you have the work? Today, the people want things right away, but I just want to show you, honor your legacy, honor your skill. I just want to ask you a quick question. How long did it take you before you started that job, the first job in Abu Dhabi, until you launched Expo HUT 2006?
Yeah, this is a very good question. I like to take it into 2 parts, if you don't mind.
Sure.
The first part, as you said, after spending nearly more than 12 years in the trade show business and marketing and working in different countries, I launched the Expo in 2006. And it was very successful at that time. But unfortunately, the 2009 exhibition industry was very badly impacted because of the crisis of
2008 house crisis.
Well, the effect started in 2009. It's one, but the real effect, we felt it in 2009, like when we started to feel the hurt. So but when I tried to go back and reopen the company in Canada, and that's a very beautiful thing that you said. Even though I have the skills for it, I have the expertise, and internationally also, I know how to organize. I'm also a certified exhibition manager from the US, and I also have one member of the global organization of trade shows. All that, with all the expertise and the weight that I carry, is still, I was reluctant to start the Expo HUT right away.
Okay.
So I advise people, and I've seen this happen with the new immigrants, and especially from our community. They think because they would done a great job in their country, it means, and they say we do it even better than Canada. Okay, maybe you do, and some place I agree that they're more advanced in other countries than us when it comes to certain industry. But you have to know the market. You have to know the people. There is a certain thing about Canada. It's not like other countries. It's not very open, a bit more conservative. So you gotta take a baby step. So by joining a company, and I'm not trying to encourage people to play games on their employers, but no. It's just you have to work and serve that company. Absolutely. I worked with the biggest company in the world when they came to open their they came to buy the shows here. Informa, everyone knows Informa, of course. Informa, when they bought the companies here, I was in the right time, right place. I joined them. I contribute for 5, 6 years. I launched new events for them. But then there was a time for me that was I gotta. There's nothing else I can do more. Need to go on my own. But it helped me know, not in terms of learning the business. It helped me in terms of knowing the people, the venues, the people who are part of this. You gotta be part of that family. You cannot just walk in from the window. You gotta walk in from the door. You gotta respect that industry. There are people here are working for years and years. You cannot just walk and say, "Hey, I know it all. I don't need you guys to." And I seen that happen with in my industry. I know people who came in and launched a show without checking with anybody, without talking to association, and say, I did it in my country. I can do it here. It's nothing. I just rent a venue and do the show. No, it's much more complicated than this. You need to really know the market, know the people, get the support. You have to respect that country that you're coming into. There are existing people who are doing this for a long time. You gotta give them the respect before you go in and enter their market. And that's what I advise everybody before they jump into. Even if they have the money, it doesn't matter. You can have millions. You will lose that $1 million if you don't know what are you doing, or who to talk to, or who to reach out to. So take a baby step, start slowly, or join a company, serve the country, help out, be part of something, and then if things goes okay, then you can start doing your own thing. I'm not encouraging people to leave their job and start, but if they can, that's fine. If they don't, they continue working with that company and become stronger.
That's very beautiful insight, right? Like, I mean, otherwise, like, since you have been there, since you walk the walk, that's what you can say. I think it's in every business. That's the reason I want to really point it out, was that it is in every business. People want to do these days. You want to get $1 million in 30 days. That's a hold on, man. Just, you have to learn the skill. You have to, but you said it took 12 years. You worked, you honed your skill, then you begin to open your thing. So it takes time. People are impatient, and that's a beautiful lesson. Thank you for sharing that. Which brings us to your time in Canada, and you also, that shows how you started. Tell us about the other two shows first, then we go, and I really want to focus on the Halal Expo and how unique it is, and but before that, but tell us about the other two shows and how you and why you actually started Halal Expo as well, if you don't mind.
Okay, so my intention is not to compete with anything that is doing well, and not to take the sweat of other people. That has always been my intention, since even if I was an employee or if I was an entrepreneur, I always try to stay away from somebody business or somebody who's doing well and let them enjoy it. Even if I was an employee, if I go take over a territory, and if I see somebody doing well in that territory, I ask for another territory. Can I take this one that nobody's touching? Because I like to contribute, do something, not to take over somebody's sweat or somebody's
not
work.
to compete.
Yeah, not to compete, which is nothing wrong with competition if it was in a healthy way. But what I'm saying is, I started to look at the industries, different industries, and halal construction industry. There are many things done for the halal or for the construction or for anything, but it's nothing has been focused on in terms of what I did. So when I started the Kitchen and Bath, or first the Stone Show before the Kitchen and Bath, it was growing so fast, the stone industry in Canada. When we say stone, everything to do with stone, from granite, marble, porcelain, quartz, machinery, everything to do with stone, and tiles. There was nothing catering to that. It was always part of like a show, but not focused. But the industry grows so fast that it needs its own platform for people to come and meet, like the fabricators, the people who are doing the work, the suppliers. So I launched the idea, but before I launched it, I had to travel. I had to check to see who I should bring on board, and ask opinion of the industry leaders before I launched it. Talk to different people. I don't want to just go ahead and do it out of my head.
No, I love the idea. I love the idea.
And when I confirmed that, and the same with the Halal Expo, when I did the same thing. I went to, like, you remember, I went to Dr. Salimi, I went to ISNA, I went to so many people. before
What's missing? What can we create something new? Not
yeah,
exist to do the same
because
thing what everybody's doing.
I don't want to do something that is already done. Like people say to me, why can't you launch a consumer show? You know, there are many consumer shows,
That's
not
true.
only in Canada, in US.
That's
There's
true.
so many, and they're all great, but it's not what I do. I'm more of like a business to business kind of platform, which is nothing wrong with the B2C.
Yeah, yeah.
But when I started to do that, then I started to see the interest from local and international. We are not yet there, but we are organically growing. We're getting international, we're getting local in kitchen, bath, and stone. And that space by itself, it's so vast. Like it has so many things to offer. If you look at the space of the kitchen and bath, if you look at your kitchen and bath, from the flooring to the cabinets to the faucet to the sink to the to the countertop, to the lighting. Even the lighting now in the kitchen and bath becomes a big thing. So all that stuff is so many people to supply to, and there is so much less demand. So we are trying to improve that quality for the people who are using that, improve the offer more choices for people to see, and that's what we launch these shows. And now we're doing our third edition in both shows this year. For Halal Expo, it's the third edition. For Kitchen, Bath, and Stone, which is 2 in 1, we're doing the third edition in October. So all these things are coming along very well. We are also bringing more international manufacturers for the first time in Canada, looking for people to partner with. So there are so much ideas, and we are also fortunate to be partnering with the media partners like Halal. You are one of them, Halal Ad, and so other people we partner with to create that strong foundation for the industry, so they can at least network and meet and
Absolutely.
compare and see many things and educate
So
as well.
absolutely. So there's another lesson I want to share, like Jeb, another share what you just said. Like in startups, I advise a lot of startups. I also recently bought a book, especially the book I exactly mentioned what you just said. It's called the red ocean and blue ocean strategy, right? And the red ocean is like you said. So what you explained is the best way. You said I don't want to touch somebody else. I think it's a nice thing to do, but also it's the right thing to do from business wise. If you think about it, why would you want to go into crowded space, right, to create another one more noise and try to take it? It doesn't work. That's why it's called the red ocean. Where's a lot of sharks eating each other, there's fish and blood.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Instead, you did the right thing. It's also a good thing, right? That you go to blue ocean where there's not much competition. You find your niche. I like it. Instead of using everything, you focus on stone or you say kitchen bath, right? You find a niche that's not being served. You go and serve the best, and that's beautiful.
That's exactly.
That's another lesson for the listeners and watchers, right? Absolutely.
You perfectly described what I do, because that's what I do. I don't like. I want to do something that is new, different, offer something to the industry that is required. Even if you find a niche and it's not yet ready for it, I don't do it, because it's not about, oh, nobody did it. No, you have to find out, is it enough? Is it gonna be covering that market? Is it gonna be there's enough people to jump into that wagon? It's not just about ideas, it's about research, about and people said, oh, I have that idea some years ago, but it's not also about having the idea, it's actually jump in on it and try to do it. A lot of people have ideas every day. Like you would be sitting on your watching TV, you'll have 10 ideas, but
they're
how many?
useless. They're useless
Yeah,
if you don't take action
yeah,
at some point.
you gotta jump with it. And to be honest, I was watching a documentary about Canada. We got a lot to offer. We have so much to offer. We are the third largest country in resources. We are 80% of the world water. We are tourism. We only using 1%. In our in income. We get only what we only get 1%. We should get at least 20% of tourism and entrepreneurship. So that's one thing the government is trying to do, to encourage small business to start up, because that's what's lacking in Canada. Everybody has the comfort zone. I got a job, I get the retirement, I get the healthcare. I don't need to really go into a risk and start business. That's where we are having an issue. That's why we're not utilizing Canada to the fullest. We have every resource for everyone to start a business. The economy is growing, the population is growing every year, as you know. and
500,000 people coming every
yeah,
year,
and your
moving.
book, your book also probably highlighted that issue, that Canada needs to encourage startups, and that's what way we're gonna grow in our economy, and we're gonna grow not to just to look at Canada as an immigration hub where everybody just migrate.
Mm.
We want to encourage also the fact that we are a trade hub, we are a business hub, we are a tourism hub. This is where we will all benefit. The government, the private sector, everybody will benefit from that progressive movement that we can have to create, and trade should actually play a good role in that. They
Absolutely. They trade, they connect people, right? They connect
yeah,
businesses in a way.
yeah. So
That's
I just hope that everybody not to always look at the comfort zone. I mean, some people cannot. I'm not saying, but if somebody has a little bit of that encouragement, go ahead. Don't be afraid. The government have some supporting programs. There are so many ideas you can create, and don't look at, oh, it cannot be done in Canada. Just don't think that way, because when I launched the Stone and the Kitchen and Bath, they said, "Why are you doing it? It's not the right place to do it. U.S. is already having these shows. Everybody goes to U.S." And everybody was denying me and to do it. When I did it, everybody jumped on the wagon. So again, it's if you ask anybody, they said no, it's a wrong idea. Canada is not the right place to do a standalone show or like a very focused niche. No, I prove it wrong. So everything you do, you should not always listen, because everything in the world that started, nobody ever did it before. That's why it became a success. If we're gonna follow that what's a norm,
status
then there's
quo.
nothing that's
Yeah,
gonna happen.
nothing's
So sometimes
absolutely
you gotta think about it. You gotta use your instinct, your
intuition.
deep intuition, and try to jump into it. And don't try to say, oh, because it never done in Canada, so I don't think it's gonna work. No, you never know. Canada, you don't underestimate Canada. Canada has a lot to offer, and it's an established country. We have everything from airport, transportation, logistics. Did you know that we are receiving ships on a daily basis from around the world, but people don't know that. We have ports that goes around, and now you're talking about diverting some routes to bring it to Canada. If they do that, oh, Canada's going to benefit a lot, because we can be having a shorter cut from Europe than going to Panama Canal.
Hmm.
If these things ever get implemented, you know what I'm talking about. The Panama Canal, there's a shorter cut to Canada than going to Panama Canal.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
did
there's
not know
there's a
that.
lot of things you can look up this
Okay.
thing. It's many
Okay.
things happen.
So thank you for sharing those. So tell me about the Halal Expo, and I will tell you what I feel like. But I want to hear from you. Like, why did you create Halal Expo? What do you think there was missing, and how is it different? I would like to know.
Okay, so there's a big growth in the halal market here in Canada and North America in general. But why Canada in particular? Because first of all, the highest concentration of Muslims
Yes.
are in North America, are in GTA,
Yep.
and we are almost 2 million people of Muslims here, more than $2+ billion of only food consumption of halal. That's only food. We're not talking about
Only
cosmetics.
halal food is 2 billion. Wow.
Yeah. So, and let's keep increasing. If I don't know, Maruf, I don't know how long you've been here, but I came
3 years.
here
Today is 3 years.
I came here in 2012, and when I
Mhm.
came in here, I would go to these bucket stores, the small stores that
Mhm.
in the different part of the city. Now I can go to a large mega stores, and it's completely halal. And I don't have to tell you, like Adonis, all food, Arz. Even if you go to Walmart
Yeah,
now,
yeah, yeah. Even you go to Walmart or Costco, they have the sections halal.
when I just heard from one of the clients I was talking to about the Halal Expo, and I said, Halal Expo, I mean the halal industry in Canada is growing fast. He said, don't worry, I know, because we're making the study. He said, and he's American, he's based in the US, in Los Angeles. He said to me, they made a study, they found that at Costco and Walmart Canada carries more halal than US Walmart and Costco. So they can imagine we are more than US when it comes to those big retailers.
Mm.
And those the reason why, with all that supply, is still there's more demand, and we have to catch up. So how to do it? To create that platform that is only targeting businesses, and to have an education conference where people can also learn about the halal industry.
Mhm.
and adding so many sessions about how to market, how to do, how to certify, how to do your franchise of halal. So many financial, tourism, every area we have to educate also as well. So um, uh, that platform, it was created to cater to that, to cater to the growth, and it's been very well perceived by not only local but international. Malaysia, remember, they came with
Yep.
10 companies. This year we're expecting 25 to 30 companies to
Wow.
come from Malaysia. So
Wow.
there are more and more people are jumping to this market because they see the potential. And why Toronto in particular? Because we receive also people, and you know, if you remember, Maruf, we have from New York came to our show to
Yeah.
visit. We have from Michigan, we have from Illinois, because it's a driving distance. You can drive
Yeah,
within
yeah,
seven
that's true.
hours.
That's true.
So they all came because they know that it. We were told by the Americans scholars that we are more regulated here, a more uh, established halal market than even US, although they're bigger than us, but they're scattered. They
That's
have not.
Catherine. That's true. And to be honest, like I've been to the last 7, 8 years, probably I've been to a lot of shows. I'm talking about Muslim shows, right?
Yeah,
And the your show to me is the only show. Like I've been to, like, trust me, I've been to all of them, even big ones as big as Mihas, right? In Malaysia, you know, the biggest one, you know. But
yeah,
your show is the only one that focuses only B2B. You understand? Only B2B. Yeah, Mihas has a lot of things, but all other shows in North America, UK, and Europe as well. I've been there. In the UK, there are a lot of shows as well. They only focus on consumer shows, like a
yeah.
B2C. That's what we are. Then we have a shop, like some kind of shop. Come and buy it. Like we know that the game, but what you're doing is, I really like respect you for that. Is like you say, look, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do only B2B. I'm gonna bring people. I'm gonna do import, export. This is different, right? And this is something we have to really stress to people. Look, it's not just Halal Expo. It's Halal Expo mainly focused on B2B and import and export. This is the here you may not see 1,000 people coming to your booth. Maybe come 10 people. 5 of them will have an end up showing with you, and that will be worthwhile for you. You don't have to worry about it because they will be importing in wholesale, not just one or two. That's something we should really, really
100%.
focus.
100%, 100%, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give quality over quantity. So we're not claiming that we have a 10,000 people coming in. If we get 2,000 people, we're very satisfied with that, because those 2,000 are the business people, the people who are coming to do business. They're not coming to pick up to buy henna or buy, which is all great, but that's not where we are. Our target. Our
Yeah,
target to really focus on how to elevate that business, and how to um, uh, improve the halal brand in this part of the world, because we should have a very strong brand as a halal, as a brand, and it should be appealing not only for Muslim but for non-Muslim. And if you notice in our branding attributes, and I think we do, we try to be appealing to everybody. We don't want to make it look like a religious event, or it's a purely business. We are a business people. Come on, and you will welcome everybody. And if you come to our show, if you remember, Maruf, you saw everybody from all ethnicity, from all religious
absolutely.
background. We didn't have just the Muslim brothers, and we have everybody coming to our show because we make it more welcoming, we make it more
Yep.
business oriented. And that's, of course, we do have to have our own conferences for religious purposes, but that's not enough. We should also show the other side of the
Yeah,
Muslim.
that's also a form of dawah as well.
Yeah, because if you recall, I mean, if you know, our Prophet, peace be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was a merchant, a
Yep,
businessman.
yep.
He traveled to Syria, he traveled everywhere to do business, and he encouraged tijara. We call tijara means trade,
Exactly.
and he encouraged that to us, and he says, do business, because that business, if you do it, you pay back to the community, and you help the orphans, you help the needies, and the community will even become stronger when you are in
Absolutely.
business, right?
And also, the what you're just saying is like, there are a lot of people do a lot of things in politics and this and that. But for me, economy is it's not politics, but it's a type of politics. Like when the economy, when people are going and buying halal, what they're doing actually, they're voting by their money, right? What
Yeah,
they want. And what do you think that the big guys will do? Is, oh, listen, I mean, you can talk to them hours, they will not listen. But when your money goes, they listen, oh, what's going on here? As you said, if the halal is growing, so, oh, we have to pay attention. What is halal? So it's like in a way that doing it like, as I said, this is exactly this kind of forms we need more. And recently I saw one of your posts that this year, inshallah, that the Costco is coming, is going to exhibit and B2B. So for those people who are listening outside the US and Canada, they may know what Costco is. Costco is one of the, correct me if I'm wrong, as I said, I'm a bit less than you, but it's one of the largest.
It's the biggest wholesale outlet that provide to consumer on a membership level. If you're a member, you will have access to a very good deal in terms of any products, from electronics to food to clothing, to name it. It's like a superstore, but it's more for on a wholesale format. Like even the shelves are made like wholesale warehouse.
True. That's
but
true.
it's a very tempting when you go there, because you see all the good deals, and for some of us, they control themselves, but some they end up buying from milk to a 50-inch TV. That's what happens in Costco. But yeah, it's a great place, and it's they are now pushing into more halal products. As a matter of fact, if you notice, I don't know, Maruf, I just went last week to buy some chicken. Usually it's branded with Mina or Zabiha, but this time when I went to buy halal, it was Kirkland halal chicken.
Oh, Kirkland. Kirkland is their native brand.
Their local brand. So they are now branding themselves as a local halal brand. And this is really a big jump in Costco. And everybody's probably going to follow the same model with a private label. So a lot of people who are manufacturing halal should now be alert, because those big stores will be looking for a private label. So be ready to offer that service, and be part
and also,
of the show.
for example, if you're listening, if you're thinking of like, that's what I'm talking like directly, right? If you have a product or service for the halal economy, and for you on your own to go to the Costco, that directly it will be tough. But in this kind of show, they are the representatives. They're talking to them and making you guys do the introductions. It will be much easier. Like one of the lessons I learned about Nasser is in businesses that you can reach out on your own, but it's really like a cold calling. People don't respect you. People don't reply to you. But when you reach out to someone, it's different. It's warmer. You get the deals done. I think this is one of the things I believe your show will do for many, many Muslim entrepreneurs as well. Who want to get into it.
It's exactly what you hit it in the right spot. It's the trade show. That's why people invest in it, because it's an easy way. Like, for example, as you mentioned, if you want to meet Costco, it might take you forever to meet the right people. But at the show, they'll be sitting at the booth, if it's Costco or any other companies who are, they were sitting at the booth waiting for people to work with. Also, if you're exhibiting at the show, the guy from Metro Group or from Walmart that you're trying to meet,
walk by,
he'll come to your booth and talk to you. You don't even have to go to him. And I have people from Alberta who has a big product, and you've probably seen them. They, what they said to me, we met. We tried to get into the Toronto market for years, and we couldn't get in it. We are very good in the West area, but we're not good in the East area. At your show, we're overwhelmed with the names that came to our booth and interested in our product, but they couldn't even fulfill the needs. Like they say, it's beyond our capacity. We have to really go back and try to grow more, and that's why they couldn't even fulfill. So that's where the trade show are so valuable. You go there. You have a booth. It's not a big investment compared to what you're going to be gaining, because we do our best to bring you the buyers that you're looking for, the right buyers, and that's where you grow faster. And you not only to make deals, also to compare your product, to improve your product, to generate more leads. Even if you're doing well, be at the trade show, because you don't know, today you're doing well, next time you're not doing well. But when you come to a trade show, you get the new leads. So when you're slowing down, you can rely on the new leads and to improve your business. So that's where the trade show play a good role. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell us, Brother Nasser, that about who would be the really good fit for the Halal Expo, for example, if people are listening from Canada, US, and beyond. Who are your target customers for the Halal Expo? and what they should care about, why they should come. Like, I just would like to just take 2-3 minutes and explain what it is.
Okay, so I'll take it into two parts. The first, the
Sure.
exhibitors. We
Yeah.
only focus on people manufacture
Mhm.
or people who are a representative of a big product in Canada, and they wanted to enter to this wholesale places and restaurant and businesses. The third category are the service people. If somebody, like the franchise of Halal, for example, or the financial of Halal, if it was Halal mortgage or Halal investment.
Islamic finance, yeah.
Yeah,
Islamic
they want
finance.
to meet the business people. They want to meet the investors who can put big money in it. And of course, the manufacturer want to meet the importers who want to import their product. So those are the people we look for. If it's a manufacturer, if it's somebody who is a dealer for in Canada for international brand, then he wants to enter all these places. Someone who is he wants to do, he has own label or own brand, want to expand his brand into different markets. Service industry, as I mentioned, like the halal franchise or halal tourism or halal finance. Those the people also can meet. If they exhibit in our show, they can meet the right medium or the right target audience that they're looking for to expand their business. And that's the kind of people we promise to bring into the show.
Okay.
If you are exhibiting the show or sponsor it in both ways.
Yep. Sounds good. To tell the listeners, watchers, like where they can find out more about, like when is it happening and other details. If you even want to come and just attend as well,
It's
what
very
is those?
simple. If you go to halalexpocanada.com, they can see all the information there, all the details. They can also contact us at info@halalexpocanada.com, or they can call us. Or the show is going to be held in May 17 to 18 at the International Center in Mississauga, at hall number 4, as always been. And we're offering you free parking, free everything. If you register, there is a fee, but there are also, if you are a buyer, we can provide a code to the buyers. Maruf has a code of his own that he'll be provided to soon, so he can also share it with his audience if they want to enter the show. We are trying to allow people to have easy access to the show, but if they are coming for a business purpose,
Yes.
we try not to attract or mislead people who are thinking that it's a consumer event that they can come in and enjoy a fun time with the family. Unfortunately, we don't offer that because we're not made for that. There are many events that will offer that, and they're great events, and I encourage people to attend. But I'm just thinking that this is a business show that only we're looking to attract business people or people who want to start that business of halal. They're welcome to come as well.
Absolutely. Brother Nasser, thank you for sharing all the information. Thank you for your sharing story. And I hope that was enough value, enough lessons for the upcoming Muslim entrepreneurs and also fellow, Muslim entrepreneurs who may have a product, who may have a service, as you said, and who may find useful. As I said, this is one of the, for me, the one of the things if you remember, from the moment you reach out to us, and then from that moment, like even every the last year that we did it, this year we also do it, because as I said, I see you are doing something really different than anybody else. That's why I support you, and also I believe what you're doing, maybe not a lot of attracting a lot of consumers B2C, but the way it's done, the quality it's done B2B, I believe this is where a lot of impact will be done, and that's why we have always supported you, and inshallah we'll keep supporting, and we need to support your thing, because it's a community, as you said, it's a community, it's not a one-man job. We have to each help each other, right, to do this stuff. And so anybody who is gonna, we will be sharing the links, don't worry, we'll share the links below the video and on the website as well. Having said that, I really thank you for your time. I know you are a busy person, I don't want to take more of your time. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to see you at the show, and more whoever gonna come. And one last thing I want to say, we haven't really finalized, I told you that the book I finished recently, that's something we had to discuss with the details. Maybe we end up doing maybe signing or maybe even one of the part of the sessions as well. We will discuss with you detail. So that also might be coming up. If it is the case, I will let my other subscribers know. But that's something we can do as well. But this is the interview. Do you want to say anything? I might have asked any other questions. Do you
I
want to say
just want
anything else?
I just want to say thank you, Maruf, for this, and we are happy to partner with you as well this year again, and we look forward to inviting everybody to Halal Expo Canada 2023. It's going to be a good show. We are bringing a lot of features and programs and education and new companies, new products. Come and experience that and support this only platform in North America that and was based in Toronto as well, which is good for us. That is B2B, and
Sure.
to what the objective is to promote halal lifestyle and promote the halal brand as a brand to make sure that we are well respected and well perceived by all communities, not just the Muslims. Thank you so much again, and we
A pleasure.
hope to see you all at the show.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.